You could show me good plays of Jalen Ramsey. I could show you good plays of Marcus Peters. You could show me great stats of Jalen Ramsey. I could show you great stats of Marcus Peters as well. You could show me bad plays of Marcus Peters. Bro, I could show you many bad plays of Jalen Ramsey. Wow, literally just finished recording this video and I get the notification that Marcus Peters and the Raiders agreed to a 1-year contract. Congratulations to Marcus Peters. Congratulations to the Raiders Nation. You guys, what is going on, Ravens flock? My name is Drastic and I want to welcome you guys back to another video on our YouTube channel, Flockin' Ravens. And on today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a small update on the whole Marcus Peters situation. It's not much. I'm just going to tell you guys what I've heard so far. It's not much, but it's something. It's something, all right? As many of you guys already have heard, back in May, like the end of May, the Raiders were actually interested in a Marcus Peters to the point where they asked him to come in for a workout, right? Marcus Peters did the whole workout, did everything he was asked to do, but he left without a contract, right? So ever since that workout, we haven't really heard from Marcus Peters, from any interest from the Raiders or the Ravens, Rams, nothing, right? We just haven't heard anything from Marcus Peters. So he was a little bit quiet. But this past Friday, news started coming out that the Raiders were interested in bringing in Marcus Peters for a second workout, right? And that's supposed to happen today. Well, it was supposed to happen this morning, and I think it already happened. But this morning, or maybe it was last night when I saw this report, that they weren't only going to bring in Marcus Peters, but they were going to also bring in Troy Hill for a workout, right? Which is another cornerback. So the Raiders are obviously very clearly they're trying to look for a cornerback to sign because they're bringing in two cornerbacks, right? Marcus Peters and Troy Hill. So I think they're working both of these players out to kind of see maybe if they sign both, which I don't think they will, but who knows, right? Or they're trying to compare which one will be more beneficial to sign at this point, right? Who's more healthy, who could be more productive, and also look at their resume, right? So as of now, we have not heard that the Raiders have offered Marcus Peters a contract or that they signed Troy Hill. So right now, all we know is that they did the workout. I don't know if they're still, in the facility or they already left. But whatever the case is, so far, all we know is that they are working out and no contract so far, right? So what does this mean for Marcus Peters and the Ravens? As many of you guys know on my channel, I've said this many times. I personally want Marcus Peters back. All right. I know there are some people who are like over it because they're like, he got injured. He hasn't been as productive as he has when we first signed him and all of that. Right. So there's different point of views. Right. But my personal opinion, I personally would like Marcus Peters back with the Ravens. Right. But to be honest, at this point, I just don't see that happening. For one, Marcus Peters took off everything Ravens off his IG. Now, you may be thinking, well, that's normal behavior from a player when they're finishing out their contract with a team. And that's true. It's very common. Not every player will do it, but there is a lot that will, which I don't really understand that because for some cases, yes, I understand, right? When they're leaving in bad terms, for sure, I get it. But when a player is leaving on good terms from their contract with a team, I don't understand why they remove everything off their Instagram, their social medias, and all of that. Because especially if they have like some good pictures of like them, catching touchdowns and this and that, or in Marcus Peters' case, his interception on the Titans in the playoff game, his interception on, I don't know, Russell Wilson, right? It went for a pick six. So those pictures, like, I don't understand why you would take it off unless you're leaving on bad terms, right? So this situation is very unique because Marcus Peters decided to take off the Ravens. As far as we know, they left supposedly. Everyone's trying to convince the media that they left on good terms. The whole situation with John Harbaugh and Marcus Peters wasn't a big thing. The media blew it out of proportion, supposedly, right? So that's what we're being told that is the situation, right? So if everything was good, why remove everything Ravens off your social media, right? And why keep everything Rams on your social media? Because the Rams literally did you dirty. Literally did you dirty. Because the Rams got you from the Kansas City Chiefs. And the moment that they saw, they could possibly get Jalen Ramsey instead, they didn't think about it twice. They shipped you off the team to the Ravens, right? And then they got Ramsey. And that's when the whole game between the Ravens versus the Rams, and Marcus Peters was playing that game with heart, like with intention, with passion, because he had a purpose in that game, right? To show the LA Rams that they made a wrong decision, that they're going to regret this every single year. That's how he was playing that game, because he felt that they did him dirty, and they did in fact do him dirty. I think all of you guys could agree with me that they did him dirty, right? So after going through all of those motions, you decide to take off Raven stuff and keep the Rams. So that only leads me to think that maybe something did happen between Harbaugh and Marcus Peters. We already saw what happened on the field because we caught that on camera. It was caught on live TV, right? But we don't know what happened after the cameras turned off. What happened in that locker room? What was the discussion? What was the conversation like between Marcus Peters and Harbaugh, Marcus Peters and maybe Eric DeCosta? We don't know what conversation, what words were exchanged behind closed doors, right? But this could only make you think that it wasn't as good as the Ravens are trying to make it seem like it was. It wasn't as calm and friendly and, oh no, he's just passionate. No. So this just makes me think like maybe something did happen behind closed doors, to the point that this is that situation is making the decision for Eric DeCosta to bring back Marcus Peters that much harder. Maybe not even harder, but almost impossible, because maybe this whole situation is like a thing where he has to choose between John Harbaugh and Marcus Peters, or he has to choose between Marcus Peters and I don't know. I don't know if Marcus Peters only had an issue with just Harbaugh, because there was even rumors, which I don't think that this is true, but supposedly there is rumors that Marcus Peters had an issue with Lamar Jackson because he didn't play and this and that and the third. But I don't think that's true, because I just don't believe that these Lamar Jackson and Marcus Peters could ever have a issue. I just don't believe that, right? And you see this when I think Lamar posted a picture of him in the facility, and Marcus Peters comment on that picture saying I miss my dog, something like that, right? So it just shows you like he's cool with Lamar, he's cool with the team. I just feel like there is some sort of issue between Harbaugh and Marcus Peters, right? So if that's the case, like if there really is a situation in Baltimore between Marcus Peters and like John Harbaugh, or just Marcus Peters and the Ravens in general, to the point where Eric DeCosta knows he's not bringing back Marcus Peters no matter what, I hope Marcus Peters signs with the Raiders, because I hope the Raiders offer Marcus Peters a contract, because and I hope Marcus Peters takes it, because I would really hate to see Marcus Peters having to call it quits, right? Like this might be the end of his career. I would really hate to see that, because I feel like he has not many years left, but he has a couple more years. He has a couple more years, a couple solid years. I think he could be a very good cornerback. Now, I don't think he's in his career where he could we could depend on only Marcus Peters. Like, I don't think he could solely take over the cornerback position. I honestly feel like, yeah, he will need like Marlon Humphrey and extra help, like good help, like just him, depend on him. Like, let's say if Marlon goes down and we lose like our 3, 4, like that, and we're using like practice squad and Marcus Peters, I don't feel like he's able to do that in his career. At this point in his career, I don't feel like he could do that. But if you pair him with like a Martin Humphrey and the defense that we have now, I feel Marcus Peters could definitely give you some solid plays, right? Again, I know some people are not fans of Marcus Peters because I've heard some people say, he doesn't stick to the play. He jumps the ball too fast or this and that or the third. You guys could show me many bad plays of Marcus Peters. That's true. He's has a couple of plays that were not good, where his stats are not good, where people even say, oh, I prefer like Jalen Ramsey, right? You could show me good plays of Jalen Ramsey. I could show you good plays of Marcus Peters. You could show me great stats of Jalen Ramsey. I could show you great stats of Marcus Peters as well. You could show me bad plays of Marcus Peters, bro. I could show you many bad plays of Jalen Ramsey. Okay, so this isn't a right or wrong answer. I don't think people should trip to the point where they're like, oh, like the fact that you like Marcus Peters or you want him back, you don't know what you're talking about. Your football IQ is low. Bro, like, what are you talking about? Marcus Peters is not a sorry player. If you compare Marcus Peters to other cornerbacks who are in the same range in age, Marcus Peters could easily be top 10, top 5 cornerback, all right? Now, listen to what I'm saying. Other cornerbacks who are in the same range in his age. So I'm not saying compare Marcus Peters to a 23-year-old, 24-year-old cornerback. No, different. It's totally different, right? I'm telling you, a cornerback who is in the same range as Marcus Peters, easily he could be a top 10, top 5 cornerback. So I just think that if the Raiders were to sign Marcus Peters, I feel that he could give the Raiders very good production. Obviously, Marcus Peters will not be the missing piece for the Raiders to get to the Super Bowl or to have a like crazy run. Not at all. But I think Marcus Peters would definitely give them good production. It would be a solid pick for them, right? So yeah, that's pretty much all I got so far. I'm gonna keep you guys updated on the whole Marcus Peters situation. Selfishly, I do want Marcus Peters back. I know some of you guys don't, but yo, we can have different opinions and still support the same team. We don't have to agree on every single thing. So if you have a different opinion than me, that does not mean you don't know football, you're not a real Ravens fan, and vice versa, right? So I'm just telling you guys my point of view, my opinion, and if you guys agree with me, great, let me know. If you guys don't, great, let me know as well, and we could agree to disagree, right? And there is no issue. Wow, literally just finished recording this video and I get the notification that Marcus Peters and the Raiders agreed to a 1-year contract. Congratulations to Marcus Peters. Congratulations to the Raiders Nation. You guys got a great pick. All right. Marcus Peters is a great cornerback. He brings you that like tough personality, that attitude that every team wants their player to have. He brings you that. He's very aggressive and tough, but he's a great teammate as well. He shows like love to his teammates. Like you guys are gonna find out. Like I said earlier in the video, Marcus Peters has some good plays and he has some bad plays. But that's because Marcus Peters is a player that likes to take chances, right? He is one of those players that will not stick to the route because he wants to take a chance to possibly pick off the quarterback or do something crazy, right? And a lot of the times it works. It does work, all right? Obviously, there is some times where it doesn't, but you don't see that mistake more like enough for me to be like, you know what? I can't stand Marcus Peters. I don't like Marcus Peters. He takes way too many chances. It never works. No, it works a lot of the times. All right. He's not picking off the quarterback time and time again, but him taking these chances a lot of times does help shut down certain players. But anyways, you guys are getting a great player in Marcus Peters on and off the field. The details of how much he's getting from the Raiders have not been released yet. I haven't seen it yet. I don't think I'm gonna make a whole video on how much he's getting because honestly, I don't feel like the Ravens even offered him anything because, like I said earlier in the video, I feel like there is some issue between Harbaugh and Marcus Peters, but for that reason, I feel like that's why we didn't get Marcus Peters to come back, right? So now that we know for sure that Marcus Peters is not going to be returning to the Ravens because he obviously just signed with the Ravens, it's definitely looking like it's Anthony Averett time, right? The Ravens are definitely going to reach out to Anthony Averett to try to bring him back because let's be honest, I do not feel comfortable with what we have in the cornerback position right now. Rock Yasin, from what I've seen his tape, I don't think he's the answer. I just don't think that he will magically like transfer into this like Marcus Peter type player from like all the years he's been playing to like 1 year. It's not happening. So I feel like the Ravens, the smart thing for them to do is to bring back Anthony Averett because that's the best player available as of now, right? Unless they're going to trade, but they're not going to do that. I don't think they will. But the best player available right now, I think that makes sense would be Anthony Averett. If you guys know of a great cornerback that's available right now, that's a perfect match with the Ravens. Let me know down in the comments which player that is, or if you guys agree with me. I honestly feel like it's obvious that the Ravens are pretty much going to just wait to the last minute to bring back Anthony Averett, and they're going to call it a day in the cornerback position, right?